We are thrilled to announce that we pulled off the great bristlecone heist of 2026.
Ah, the heist, the caper, the life of an outlaw. It feels good.
This is the Exploring the National Parks podcast with Dirt in My Shoes. My name is Ash, and I'm a former park ranger and the founder of Dirt in My Shoes. I think that the parks are best seen from the trail, and I'm here to make national park trip planning easy.
And I'm John. I carry the kids on the trails, I tell stories, and notice all the things that Ash doesn't care about much, like trees.
Join us as we show you around America's spectacular national parks.
We're sharing our favorite places, fun facts, adventures, and misadventures.
And we'll even throw in a little trip planning.
Let's start exploring.
We joked in previous episodes. I don't know how long you've been listening, but we have talked about how much we love this bristlecone pine tree in our backyard.
Mm-hmm.
We planted it, how many years? 5 years, 6 years ago.
I think shorter, because the first one died.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. It's poor dead bristlecone. So we replaced it with a new one, but a much smaller one, because they're actually very expensive and
Yes.
hard to find. So this one started probably, what, 1.5 feet tall?
Mm-hmm.
And we have nurtured it and loved it for a few years. And now it's closer to 3 feet tall.
Which is a big deal.
They're pretty slow growing. And John loves this tree. This is his baby. And he just has nurtured this thing. And bristlecone pine trees are his favorite tree, just in general.
Yep.
So we've talked about those on the podcast before. I know we have. But we recently moved. And as we were preparing to sell our old house, John was like,
I cannot be parted from this tree. I will not share this tree with someone else.
well, somebody who would just look at it and be like, what is this?
What is this little shrub of a tree? I knew that no one else would appreciate it as much as I would.
So we joked that we were going to steal it from our old house. And John told our real estate agent, like, can we put in the contract that, like, the bristlecone tree does not stay? And she laughed. Oh, you're so funny. And he's like, no, I'm serious.
I'm taking that tree, woman.
She did not put it in the contract, but we took it.
We did. And it was...
Under the cover of darkness. I'm just kidding. It was the middle of the day. We still owned the house.
Yes.
But we dug up that bristlecone and we put it in a pot. And it's currently sitting on our front porch at our new house as we decide where we're going to plant it.
Ah,
So,
feels good.
yep.
I was so sad to think about leaving that tree. And now... well, I hope I can keep it alive.
I know.
That's the next step of this journey, is just ensuring that I don't kill another bristlecone.
I know. But that's how crazy we are. We steal trees. So,
From ourselves, which was really what it was.
kind of, we were like, they're not even going to notice if it's gone.
No,
I'm sure they didn't.
I'm sure they didn't either.
But,
Unless they're listening, which they're probably not. But just so you know. So thanks for our own tree.
yeah. Oh, so we did it. Just wanted to announce that we did go through with the great bristlecone heist of 2026.
Yes.
Now we are in our new house, which I have to say, 30 minutes closer to Grand Teton.
Which is wonderful. And we got to experience an hour less driving on this last trip that we took.
Yep. So we find ourselves in Grand Teton at least once a year, often more than that.
Mm-hmm.
It's my favorite national park. I hesitate to say that anymore, honestly, because it's getting so darn busy.
Mm-hmm. It is.
And I've been going my whole life. And it's like, and all of us actually, because this was an extended family trip, all of us who have been going just for years and years and years were like, what's happening? Why is it so busy? You can feel it.
Yeah. It's so busy that we'll talk a little bit later about
My eternal shame.
a streak that Ash has had that's come to an end because this was such a busy park this time.
Oh my gosh. And so I wanted to start talking first about the construction updates, because I know a lot of you who have been going to Grand Teton or looking to go to Grand Teton, truthfully, over the next few years, you're going to be dealing with this. Almost all of these construction projects are multi-year projects at this point.
Right.
So you might be saying, well, Ash, the summer's almost over. And I say, just you wait, because you get to experience this next year too, if you're going. So let's talk a little bit about construction, and then we will jump more into our actual experience in the park and what we did this time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so starting at the beginning of this year, Grand Teton posted on their website, like, we are doing a ton of construction around Moose. If you can stay anywhere else and use any other entrance, that would be great.
Yeah.
And by anywhere else, they mean Moran. They mean going north.
Right.
And that's what they were saying. And so I've had a lot of people come to me like kind of in a panic. What are we supposed to do? Like, this sounds horrible. There's literally 6 construction projects, I think. Somewhere in there, 5, 6, 7.
They were releasing all the projects that they were doing. And Ash, this is at the last house, when they were releasing all of this, she's just like yelling at me through the wall. They're doing another one. They're doing another one. It's just like
another project.
Over and over and over again. She storms into my office. Can you believe they're doing this and this? It just keeps coming into my office over and over and over again. I'm like, Ash, we're gonna have to set up a limit on how often you can yell at me or storm into my office.
It happens a lot. But yeah, so as I read through those construction updates that they kept adding and like giving more information for, and I'm just like, holy smokes, like, this is truly the whole south end of the park. So the construction updates as of right now that they have announced and that they're working on, they are realigning the Moose Wilson Road, because I was a park ranger at Grand Teton, and in fact, my job was working the entrance station in Moose, which is where all of this is happening. So I used to get people who were so upset because they would go through the entrance station at the beginning of the Moose Wilson Road, the Granite Canyon. They go through that, and then it pops you out at Moose. But it pops you out before you go through the Moose entrance station.
So you have to go through 2 entrance stations.
And they would come through and they'd be like, we already showed our pass. And I'm like, I'm so sorry, but you have to show it again. We're right here, you know? And the Moose entrance is the busiest entrance of the park. So the lines can get pretty darn long.
Right.
Which makes everybody grumpy. Somebody actually threw an apple core at my coworker because they were so mad.
I had to wait in 2 lines.
I was like, wow, that's not very nice.
Yeah. It's like the equivalent of like throwing your shake back at
It's like throwing tomatoes.
Right.
You know? Yeah. So people get really mad. So this construction that they're doing around the Moose entrance specifically is going to fix that. They're realigning the roads so that the Moose Wilson Road it spits you out in Moose, but after the entrance station, so you don't have to wait in line again and go through the entrance, which is fantastic. I'm so excited about that one.
Yeah, that'll benefit a lot of people.
They're also building a new entrance station at Moose, which has been a long time coming. That entrance station you're basically just in a tiny little really hot shack all summer long. So
right.
I mean, when I worked there, and it hasn't changed, I peaked. We're going through, but like, all there's room for is like your cash register, which they don't even use anymore, and a chair to sit down. That's it. So yay, new entrance station. So that's really exciting.
That will be great.
They are also doing work at Meaner's Ferry, which is right there by the entrance station. That's a little more off the beaten path stop. A lot of people don't go there, so that probably won't affect you as much. The Moose Wilson Road is under construction. They are still doing work out there, and so that one has delays. The Death Canyon Trailhead is under construction. They're fixing the parking lot, which is great. That parking lot was awful. And then the Mormon Row area, they are putting in a new parking lot and like some walking paths, because right now it's just kind of a free-for-all. Nobody knows where to park and nobody knows what to do, and people just tromp all over everything and drives me crazy. So they're fixing that. And then Taggart Lake, which is one of the most popular trails in the park, that one is under construction as well. They're going to put in a bigger parking lot there, and they're changing some things on the trail. So part of the trail is closed, and they have a detour set up as of right now. So
wow.
All from memory.
She's got no notes right here, guys. She did all of that with just from cataloging back through the memories of all the things that she stomped into my office to tell me about.
And so I've been helping people all summer with these construction plans and how to kind of avoid and what to do. And the park said, you know, we may even close down the inner park road for up to 2 weeks to do some of this stuff. And so people have kind of been freaking out, and I've been just writing out instructions like, here's what you need to do.
You've been coming up with lots of different contingency plans.
Yep, I got you. So that's all included with the Grand Teton itinerary. And as we mentioned, this is going to be happening next summer too, because they have a very short construction window in this park, and a lot of these are multi-year projects.
Right.
So just be aware, this is coming again next summer as well, a lot of it. So all that to say, we have been following it. We've been helping people with it. We're like, okay, when we go to Grand Teton, we need to like go through and see what's happening with all this construction. And we like prepped our kids, like we're probably going to be sitting in traffic for a long time as we drive through this to see what's happening. So we go and we drive through.
And we cruised through.
We drive through.
They haven't started like any of them.
Yeah, they've started a few things. So like a lot of the closures technically are still happening, and you know, but it isn't as bad as it sounds.
Right.
So don't let it freak you out. Don't let it overwhelm you. I've got you. But we drove through and we're like, that's it.
Yeah. So when they do start stuff, we've got the contingency plans already set up. But for now, I mean, we just drove right through like it was regular. There were no cones. There were no flag people telling you to stop. You know, it was great.
Yep.
What a wonderful drive.
I know. And we're like, oh, we planned an hour for this and it took 10 minutes.
Yep.
So anyway, so that's the construction update. And again, it is going to affect you in 2027 if you're wanting to go to Grand Teton. So keep a lookout for that.
But that update was for early July. So when this goes out, you know, things might have changed a little bit. They may have already started those projects. But as in terms of like early, mid-July, that's the situation.
And I was there to check it out for you. And that's what we saw.
Yes.
So we're like, oh, bummer. And also good. So, okay, so let's jump in then to what we actually did during this trip, because our trips to Grand Teton look very different, I think, than what most people will experience as a first-time visitor. And that's because Grand Teton is a very, very special place to both of us.
Right.
And it's a legacy park for both of our families. We separately, growing up, spent a lot of time in this area with our favorite people.
Yeah. Extended family, friends. We did all of it here in the Grand Teton area.
So that legacy continues because I have grown up visiting Grand Teton basically every year of my life. My parents took us to Grand Teton. My grandparents planned big extended family trips to Grand Teton. And it's just somewhere that it's so ingrained in me now that I wanted to be a park ranger there. That was my first job as a park ranger. Like, if I have to pick one park to go to, it's always that one.
Right.
Because it just touches me in a way that no other park can, I think, because of this legacy piece of just enjoying this place with people that I love.
For generations.
Yeah. And so now my grandma, who typically was the one to plan these trips for our extended family, she has passed on. And those trips stopped for a while because she was sick. And anyway, nobody else took up the job. You know, it was mostly her making sure that we were all spending time there.
As an extended family.
You and I took our kids there every year in between, you know, because we can't stay away. But that extended family piece kind of went away for a while. And so this trip was my extended family, not all my aunts and uncles and cousins as it has been in the past, but my family, my siblings, their spouses and kids, my parents. So we're picking it back up with my parents who are now the grandparents.
Yeah. Which is so cool.
Yeah, it just felt really special.
Yeah.
My brother they just had a new baby, and she is the sweetest, most wonderful little thing. She's 4 months, and we were all just like, yeah, she's got to go to the Tetons. Like, this is what we do. We take our kids from birth, basically, to the Tetons, and they grow up with this park in their soul.
Right.
And that's how my kids are. That's how my sister's kids are.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're passing it on to this brand new baby who, by the way, loved it. She told me.
Yes. In between spitting up, she definitely was passing the message along.
So that's what this trip was. And I just want to take a minute to like say that it doesn't have to be Grand Teton for you, but these trips where you do something like this out in nature, doing more adventurous things, doing things that you don't do in your everyday life, like disconnecting, not being on your phones all the time, not watching TV, you're disconnected, and you're having these shared experiences with your loved ones, your favorite people. And that is like what it's all about.
Yeah.
That's what visiting these parks is all about. So might not be Grand Teton for you, but like find your place and take your kids back over and over and over, because they will grow to love it. It will become a part of them. And that's why the national parks are so special to me.
Yeah. And it was really neat. It was really fun. And Ash and I have been married for 14 years. And at the beginning of our marriage, I did benefit from her grandmother planning some of these. But then we did have a long hiatus. And now it's really cool that Ash's parents have decided, okay, well, no one else, we're not doing this with everybody else. We're going to make sure we do it with us now.
But you know what's funny is sometimes when we've planned trips, like just our family, we'll show up because we all camp at Coulter Bay. We all go to Coulter Bay. We either stay in the cabins or camp or whatever. It just kind of depends. But that's kind of like our family spot.
Right.
And there's been multiple times where we have shown up to the cabins at Coulter Bay, just our family, and we ran into my cousins once. We ran into my aunt and uncle once. Like, we didn't even know they were going to be there. Right.
It's just such a family tradition. Nobody was just taking the initiative to do it as a whole group. Yeah. But we were all kind of individually
we're all showing up individually, and we're like, oh, hey, we know them.
Yes,
So
exactly.
it is pretty funny. So all that to say, take the time to do this with your kids, because my parents are not like big hikers. They're not really big outdoorsy people, but they love the Tetons, and they have passed that on to us.
Yeah.
And all my siblings are more outdoorsy. We're pretty outdoorsy people. But it's not because we grew up that way. It's just because my parents shared a special place with us, and we like to enjoy it in our specific way now. Yeah.
And so I guess an encouragement that we'd like to extend to people, we've talked a lot about having your home park.
Yeah.
What's your favorite national park that's close to home that you visit a lot? Maybe make your home park a legacy park.
Yeah.
Kind of like Grand Teton is for us, where it's multi-generational. And I don't know, Ash's grandma passed it on to her parents, which passed it on to Ash, which we're now passing it on to our kid. It's just, it really is a legacy park now at this point. So that's really fun. But I will say that this trip did have something funny about it.
A fatal flaw in John's mind.
It wasn't fatal because it turned out to be awesome. But there was definitely some expectations. Yeah, there were some expectations that I wasn't quite ready for, because like Ash said, they used to stay in the cabins a lot. And so that's what I was expecting. And the word cabin was being thrown around a lot, but I just didn't catch the describing word in front of the word cabin.
Which is pretty typical of John. He gets like half of my sentence. He hears what he wants to hear. I said, John, this time we're staying in the tent cabins.
And what I heard was, sweet, we're going to the cabins.
Cabins!
I'm so excited.
And then he's wondering why I'm packing all of our blankets and pillows and bedding and everything. He's like, I thought we were staying in the cabins. I'm like, the tent cabins.
Which,
are very different.
It's a pretty important describing word for the next word.
So we were at the Coulter Bay tent cabins, and it's true. We do stay in the regular cabins fairly often. We also camp. We take our travel trailer up there a lot and camp in the campground.
Right.
But the tent cabins, we have not done that. I don't think we've done that since you and I have been married.
No, I've never stayed in those tent cabins. This was my very first experience.
They were much better this time than they were in the past. And all of us in my family were like, oh, these are actually pretty nice. And John is just looking around going, spider, spider, spider.
Oh my gosh. Let me tell you, okay, so I have grown up, my whole family, we're a whole bunch of arachnophobes. But since I've become the man of the house, I will say that I have had to overcome some of my arachnophobia so that I'm the one that kills the spiders in the house. And I'm proud of that fact. That being said, I am always on red alert for where spiders may approach. That's probably just part of my arachnophobia. And so when you go to a tent cabin, cabins generally are four-sided, somewhat sturdy structures that are inaccessible to outside creatures.
Partially, because I will say the Coulter Bay cabins, we have had our fair share of creatures in those over the years. They're pretty rustic.
Which is pretty typical of national park lodgings. Yeah. Okay. And so you go into the Coulter Bay tent cabins, and I will say they have made zero attempts to fill in the holes and to make the seams where and all the spaces around the edges. Zero attempts to fill those in and to make sure that nothing from the outside can get in. Very charming to look at.
You might as well be in a hammock.
It's true. And so there's a lot of opportunity. I will say the Park Service has done an amazing job, like Ash said, of keeping them clean. There were like no spider webs, no actual spiders. I just saw the opportunity for a lot of spiders.
Yeah.
Not to mention the two walls were perfect habitations.
They're log cabin style wood walls. And I knew all John was saying was just like, there's going to be spiders hiding in here. And as soon as we turn out the light, they're going to jump on me.
Right on my face. I know. And it was just not, but so yes, it was somewhat hard to fall asleep. But once I did, I was pretty comfortable. But
the beds in there are funny. And that both me and my sister looked at the pictures of the beds before we went, and we were like, okay, now that I'm seeing this from the eyes of like being a mom, how are our kids not going to die on these beds? You know, and my sister's like freaking out because she's got a lot of little kids. And the beds, they're really narrow. And they're bunk beds, but they're not regular bunk beds. They're bolted into the sidewall. They just kind of fold down with chains. And they're really narrow.
It's like a prison Murphy bed.
Oh my gosh. That was a really squeaky laugh. And there's no ladders to get up and down. So we brought like bumpers for our kids because we have bunk beds at home that we kind of use those on for them. And the top bunks are really high and there's not a ladder. And anyways, so John and I were like, well, I guess we'll take the top because we don't roll around and fall off things very often. Our kids still do.
Right.
And so we put the kids on the bottom. But the problem is that I could not climb up to the top bunk without a ladder. I was too short. And so John had to lift me up and down these bunk beds.
Every morning and every night was like Dirty Dancing, you know, where I'm just like lifting Ash up or taking her down. It was
felt
great.
Like a child.
It was a romantic experience every morning and evening I got to put Ash to bed.
So that was funny. So would you stay in them again?
Yes, I absolutely would.
All of us were like, that was actually pretty fun.
Just be prepared for a little bit more rustic experience. and for a lot of sharp metal edges because, like I said, everything was metal. There was a lot of bolts and things sticking out of walls. Have the right expectations.
Yep.
And you'll be fine.
Yep.
You'll survive. We did.
Grand Teton lodging is really expensive just in general. Like their campsites alone are like double what most national parks are. It's just really expensive. And so if you don't want a full camp, you kind of want to be in a structure with a picnic table. The picnic tables were covered by the canvas tent. So that was nice. You know, like it was a little bit more amenity, not much beyond tent camping, but a little bit.
Yeah.
And we had a really fun gathering space between the tent cabins for our whole family. It was honestly perfect for what we were doing. And all of us were like, this was one of the best family reunions we've ever done.
Yeah.
So
it was a blast.
It's an option. So we stayed at Coulter Bay. And then as far as our days were concerned, like I said, because this is more of a legacy park and we go back over and over and over and over, every trip looks a little bit different. And some people don't ever really want to go out and do much. Some of us are like, well, I would prefer to do more, but since we've been here before, I don't have to push it, which is the camp I was in. I typically like to fill my days with a lot of stuff.
Yes, this is where things kind of get interesting because like this is not a Ash and John style trip.
And don't you think like when you're taking family with you, when you're trying to have these shared experiences, like you do kind of have to just be ready to compromise on what is going to work, because it's not worth stressing everybody out or like making people mad because you're so intense or they're not intense enough, or you know.
This is when things get hard. And I have a confession to make. Mom, if you're listening, just so you know, this is regarding you and the rest of the family. Ash and I for years have had a rule that we follow. If we're going somewhere new, we don't travel with anybody besides us and our two kids.
Yeah, because the pacing of the trip matters to me.
But
new place specifically.
Yeah, but if we've been to somewhere before, we're happy to go with people again. But I just know us so well. Ash and I know ourselves so well. We like to see all the things. And we like to do all the things. And we do not have a problem on our quote unquote vacations, getting up early and being on our feet all day. But a lot of people don't like that on their vacations. And so like, you know, when you see a family member or a friend, the first thing you're thinking to yourself is, of course, I'd love to take a trip with you. And then a month or two before, when you have to actually make the plans, you realize they just want to hang out in the campground all day. And we want to be on the trail at 7:30 in the morning.
Which is kind of how your family is. They do a lot more crafts.
Yeah.
Than I like.
What's fun. My mom would love to spend all day at the picnic table with all the grandkids doing crafts all day long.
Meanwhile, I'm pacing.
Yes.
Like
Ash is just like,
Ryan.
I don't want to do this. Don't make me
Please, can we go do something fun?
No more crafts. Ash wants to get her feet dirty, wants to get some dirt in her shoes. Ash's dad is happy to fly 8 hours just to watch TV in a new location.
He does. They stay in they have their Marriott timeshare. They'll go out and do some things, but like my dad is so happy just to like relax somewhere.
Exactly. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And so this type of situation, it causes, if you think about it like this, it creates, you can see the problems before they happen.
Well, and I think I'm pretty intense as far as like, let's go do the things. But my youngest brother is worse than I am in that way too. Like, it's like, we'll wake up at like 7 and they're already gone. They've already gone on a 5-mile hike in the morning, you know, and it's just like, boo.
Which brings up a different kind of person too, because we talked about my mom crafting, your dad just relaxing. Us, we're pretty intense. But then you have Ash's youngest brother, which is fitness.
Right. Like they run marathons.
Right.
And they don't eat the giant thing of Costco muffins that we brought or the red vines, you know, like they're just like, We'll have our, perfectly portioned out. What does she actually? Their food looked really good, but they did bring their own food mostly,
Yeah.
But it did look really good.
And so it just shows that traveling with other groups of people can be really challenging sometimes, which is why like this legacy trip was perfect, because Ash and I, we've done everything. And so we didn't feel the need to do a bunch of stuff. And so we were happy to spend more time doing less things, focusing on the people instead of the place.
Yeah.
Which I think, especially for legacy parks, legacy places that you want to go to, that's the way you should do it.
Yeah.
But it's a very different experience.
Go by yourself the first time.
Yeah.
Do the things you want to do and then keep going back and just breathe.
Right.
And so spend time with the people you love.
Exactly. So we had a whole lot of fun this time doing a few specific things.
One of the days we packed up our camp chef and we went over to String Lake early, and John made us all blueberry pancakes, which we have perfected.
Yes.
Your blueberry pancakes are amazing. The best. So we did that at the String Lake picnic area. And so we had a table there, and then we also got our spot on the beach as we were there, and we all got parking. Like, it was good. And then we just hung out at String Lake for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
The whole day.
We didn't move.
We had all of my brother-in-law brought a blow-up couch, which was a hit.
And a blow-up paddleboard that is like 7 times the size of a regular paddleboard.
It fit like 15 people on it.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And at one point, he put the couch on the paddleboard and paddled the kids around the lake.
It was so cool.
We had a sweet setup, and we all just hung out and ate food and paddleboarded and floated and jumped off the rock. And it was really fun. It was a different pace for me, and I had to keep reminding myself, like, this is good. It's good for you to just sit.
Mm-hmm.
And I took my little baby niece, and put her on my lap, and we just floated right near the shore, she and I. And so she got to experience String Lake, and she loved it.
Yep.
As I said, we're passing that on to her. And so that's what we did all day.
It was awesome.
It really
Absolutely
was.
loved it. I will say, I think that Grand Teton has the best lakes.
Really awesome lakes.
There are so many. You cannot find lakes with better views, and so many of them are good swimming lakes too.
Yeah, and you're like in the shadow of the Tetons. You're staring at these just phenomenal mountains.
Yeah.
While you're sitting in the water. So for me, it feels like I'm still out doing something in the park.
Right.
Because I still have those big views and views that I would hike 10 miles for.
Right. Exactly.
You can just drive to them here when you hang out at String Lake. So that's pretty cool. And then another day we went, this is the day, to my eternal shame, that I broke my streak.
So Ash did get everybody to go on a hike, which is
my mom wanted to hike and my brother wanted to hike. So it was a group effort, but also we were tired.
Tired from playing at the lake all day. Yes, we were tired from relaxing at the lake.
It's just really hard to get a lot of people up like super early.
Yeah, it is. And because we didn't get everybody up so early, Ash did not get to park in the Jenny Lake parking lot. And that is the first time that has happened. She had to park. She had to slum it on the road.
So if you've never been to Grand Teton, Jenny Lake is the busiest part of Grand Teton. And it has a huge parking lot. And we literally never have trouble getting parking there.
Yeah.
And also I'm pretty picky about like when I'll go to Jenny Lake, because it is just a madhouse during certain times of day. And it's not worth it. But you'll get to Jenny Lake. Like if you drive through Jenny Lake, if you don't get there early and you drive past it, even on the highway, just a mile of cars either direction parked on the highway to get to Jenny Lake, because the parking lot is full.
Right.
And all the years we've been like, oh my gosh, like look at those people. Like they just didn't plan well enough. And how embarrassing that they had to park a mile away on the road, Well, I was that person this trip.
Ash had to park on the road and we had to walk in, and it was Ash's walk of shame.
It was a walk of shame. I was like, hopefully no one recognizes me.
Oh my god.
I was like, I know when to come to Jenny Lake. I promise.
It's not my fault. None of my siblings would get their kids out of bed this morning.
Yeah, so I did my walk of shame at Jenny Lake. We parked on the road, but it turned out fine. I will say we did not take the shuttle boat across the lake to Hidden Falls this time. We've done that a million times. Mm-hmm. But the boat line was 45 minutes long, at least. People waiting. And at that point, like for me, and this is why like my Grand Teton itinerary is so helpful, because it's like if you come too late to Jenny Lake, then not only do you, first of all, you have to wait longer through the entrance station line. Those lines get long. And then you get to Jenny Lake, there's no parking. So then you have to circle and find a parking spot, probably park out on the road and have to walk an extra 15, 20 minutes to get there. Mm-hmm. And then after all of that, you get to the shuttle boat and it's a super long line and you have to wait there. And so it just kind of stacks on each other. Yeah. You know, you wait here and then you wait here and then you wait here. Like there's no good flow if you start too late. And so getting there early, you get to park right where the shuttle boat leaves. Yep. Right in the parking lot. You don't have to wait in the entrance station because the lines aren't long yet. You park right where you want to. You don't have to wait in the boat shuttle line more than like, I don't know. Usually we wait, 5-10 minutes, maybe tops. We're in one of the first boats. And so, you know, then you don't have to wait there. And then when you get to the other side of the lake, you're not stuck in the crowds because it gets crazy busy over there. Yeah. And then when you want to come back, you're getting done before a lot of other people get done. So then you don't have to wait as long for your return boat.
Everything's just more efficient.
Yeah. It just feels so much better when you do it right. So anyway, but we didn't do that this time. We just observed it. Yes. And I did have to make the walk of shame. But we hiked to Moose Ponds, which are, you hike along the south shore of Jenny Lake for a minute and then you branch off to these ponds that pretty much always have moose. And yet, no moose for us. I know.
Which is pretty typical for me because I drive moose away, but not for Ash.
This trip was very low on the wildlife sightings. Yeah. We didn't see moose. We didn't see bears. A couple people from our group did see a bear on the same trail all of us were on, but it's just like tucked into the trees. We were spread out enough that not all of us saw it. And then we did see buffalo. Yes. And they were rutting buffalo, which was cool. Yeah. Usually they don't do much, but this time they did.
They were like trying to thread the needle across the street between traffic. And of course, people were happy to let them. Yep. But they just like were running. And then like they saw a gap and then took it. Yep. It was super cool.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. So that was the Elk Ranch Flats. And I remember telling my dad, like I said something like, I was giving him directions to where we were going to take some family pictures. And I was like, well, you go past where there's always buffalo, you know, and he's like, there's not always buffalo. The buffalo move. What if they've moved? And I was like, Dad, they never move. They're always there.
That is where we have always seen them, always and forever.
I know. He's just trying to be difficult. He's like, well, they can move, can't they? Yeah, I guess. So if you want a sure sighting, that one's pretty good.
Yes, that was pretty much always. That was like our one wildlife sighting this entire trip.
But
it was great. I will say, on that hike, my youngest son made Ash a really proud mama. And I was so proud. We played this really fun game where it's like a music lightning round. It's just a way to make noise on the trail and to have fun. And get everybody involved. And it started out was just like, Ash, sing a song from Remember the Titans, you know, and then she has to sing the song, or you choose somebody in the group, Ash or someone, give me a One Republic song. I said to my youngest son, I said, Backstreet Boys, go. And without even hesitating, he was like, I want it that way.
Yep. And he sang it. I think John just didn't want to sing it.
I didn't want to. I want it that way. And then the whole group, it was beautiful. It was a magical rendition. Everybody just like chimed in.
See, I have trained my kids well.
You have.
They love the Tetons. They love to hike. They know Backstreet Boys songs.
Yep.
They love to read. What more could I ask for?
You can't ask for much.
So that basically was our Grand Teton trip.
Yeah.
So honestly, it really was a lot of just sitting and enjoying each other's company and being in a beautiful place.
Yeah.
And that's what these return trips for us are all about. It's just really special to be able to share that experience with the people you love the most and to get together and to just have a lot of fun and disconnect and be in a beautiful spot. So, and to pass the legacy on, because like I said, and I told my youngest brother this, I said, when you have your baby, your first baby, and they're not even close, but whatever. But when you have your first baby, we have to come and do this again within the first year. Like, this is family tradition. We bring our babies to the Tetons before they even turn 1.
And we baptize them in String Lake.
Nope. But we make sure that they have pictures of themselves in the Teton from the very beginning, because that's what we're going to pass on time over time over time, you know?
Right.
That's what's important to us. And that's what makes the national park so cool. They're places you can return to and share with your favorite people.
So for your task today, all we really want to know is, do you have a legacy park? Like, what is your family's legacy park? Because I think there's so many people that are that have connections to every park in the nation.
Or if you don't, chime in and tell us which one you want to have as your legacy park.
Right.
And we'll help you make it happen. That's why we're here. That's why it matters to us to give you a great vacation to these parks, because we know that those are parks that you're going to, if you fall in love with it the first time, you're going to want to go back time and time again and share it with other people.
Right.
So let us know either if you have one or if you want one. We would love to hear your responses. So go over to the Dirt in My Shoes Instagram or Facebook page, and we will have a place for you to put that there. And we will read through them all, because we love hearing from you and seeing where you like to go and the experiences that you have with your family.
Yeah, you really are our people. And if you're enjoying the podcast, please give us a 5-star review, because it helps spread national park love to even more people, so that people all around this country can get dirt in their shoes
And find their legacy park.